Okay, one of the things that I realized I didn't cover, and I'm taking care of that now, is referencing an AutoCAD file into your current Revit project. Some cases you're going to need it so that you can recreate existing information. Sometimes it's the only site plan that we have and we want to show that on our page. In this case, it's going to be to draw existing information. Excuse me. So I'm in existing level 1. I open my workset directory and I created a workset called ZZCAD. Remember how in the structural model we created a workset called ZZ Architecture for the architectural linked model, and ZZ was just so it was stuck down at the end? Same principle, except all of our CAD file references are going to go here. I'm going to make sure that that's our current workset because I want to link this into this particular workset. Oh yes, and I want to make sure that this work set is not visible everywhere. I don't want this showing up absolutely everywhere. But what happens if this is my active work set? I want to be able to see what I'm working with, and it's off in all the work sets. So if I open VV for visibility graphics, look at my work sets. Here's my ZZCAD. Its global setting is not visible. I'm going to change that to show, and it will only that work set will only show up in this view, which for the sake of this example is the view to deal with existing conditions. I also realize that this grid is not in the right spot. There should be 30 feet in between those grids. So I fixed that little thing there. Insert tab. We're familiar with link Revit. This time we're going to link CAD. Funny thing about Revit with linking CAD files. In AutoCAD, we're used to linking CAD files actually being a more efficient use of space because the file size of your file will not increase depending on how many reference files you load in. That's in AutoCAD. This is Revit, and Revit doesn't work that way. With Revit, when you link a CAD file in, you're importing the CAD file, but you're adding information on top of it, which tells Revit, don't explode it to all of its bits, but keep an eyeball on what the actual file is doing so that you can maintain it and keep it up to date. It happens to be this file, an existing floor plan. I'm going to preserve all my colors right now, and that's just fine. It's not a big deal. Layers and levels all import, auto-detect my import units. Orient to view, place at level 1, but once again, reference origin to origin. And click OK. So there's my CAD file. You can see there's still a bit of a glitch in between where the CAD file says the column grid is versus where the Revit file is. That's a mistake in the CAD file. But you can also see, we can zoom in here, we've got all of our blocks and symbols, we've got all the colors that we're used to seeing, all of the line weights. If we were to print this now, the PDF would be in color. So in order to get around that, we go to Visibility Graphics, Imported Categories, where we can see existing floor plan. We then have to highlight the whole kit and caboodle and give it a color override of black. Now all my line work in my CAD file is black. So that's how you can take CAD-based information and bring it into Revit and have it look and display properly. I'm going to show you another something real quick like here. Minimize that. Open up Autocad. And I'm going to go back and open up that CAD file. And I'm going to make sure that this grid is in the proper position, which is 30 feet away from that grid intersection. It doesn't look like it did anything. Get a distance command and double check. Nope, it says 30 feet now. So it extends, save it, close it. Now, there is no, in Revit, there is no auto detect mechanism that says, hey, your reference file has changed, do you want to reload it like there is in AutoCAD? So on our Insert tab under Manage Links, under CAD Formats, if I highlight this existing floor plan, I have the option to reload it. That's if we're not closing out the Revit file and then reopening it. Unfortunately, a Save to Central won't update a reference. So I'm going to reload that. And now you can see that column grid is in the proper location. So there we are. If I go to my 3D view, I don't see any column grids poking out of here. If I go to Visibility Graphics, and here's that ZZ CAD, it's set, that work set is set to not visible. If I set it to show in this view, you can see bits and pieces of it poking out there. Let's go back to here and hide this again, or set it as a global setting. So there we go. There we go. That's linking in AutoCAD file. Oh, that's new level 1, existing level 1. There we go. That's linking in an AutoCAD file. The next thing that we're going to do is back in the structural. So come back in the next video. Thanks.